Hello, hey. Um, so I just want to talk about my theoretical orientation as a psychotherapist. I am a son of a psychiatrist. My dad was kind of like I guess I guess everybody was like it's sort of in the Sigmund Freud at the time, but he was basically, which I think is part of Freud's view, is that pretty much everything's biological. Uh, and talking and therapy and all that stuff wasn't really paramount to, you know, somebody's mental brain type functioning. But I'm a social worker. I can't give out medication anyway. And I'm not sure I'd want to necessarily, although I do recognize that it's necessary. Um, I'm My theoretical orientation is probably the most common, popular one taught in all the schools, most of the schools. And that's, of course, cognitive behavioral therapy. In fact, ironically, my dad's the one who told me about it. Told me about the Beck Institute, Aaron Beck, because I think he knew I don't really want to take antidepressants or anti-anxiety medication. So I'm right now pursuing certification as a CBT therapist at the Beck Institute. I did take um, a program, like a 1-year program with Arthur Freeman, the late Arthur Freeman, in CBT a long time ago. But yeah, so if I get the Beck certification, then they have an advanced certification, then I can become a supervisor. So then after I do the CBT at Beck, hopefully pass, I'm not going to go, but I would take Oxford University Center for Cognitive Therapy training online. I'm trying to finish my registered play therapy training at the Family Play Therapy Center here in Philadelphia, which would be nice. Because I work with kids, and kids don't always want to talk about their problems, and some kids can't talk about their problems. Some kids are nonverbal, so that's when you have to come up with other stuff. Now, I tried the ABA training. I didn't really particularly like that. I noticed all the other, like, CBT has taken on the behavioral aspect of therapy. Because you do have to do behavioral experiments, and you have to do in vivo exposure. You have to do behavioral stuff, not just your thoughts. Okay. So in addition to CBT, I also just got the latest 4th edition of the motivational interviewing text. That's something I want to get certified in with MINT. I guess that's Motivational Interviewing International Network. Let me see, what does that stand for? MINT. MINT. Okay. Yeah. So MINT stands for, yes, Motivational Interviewing Network of Trainers. So I want to join that. That would be awesome. They got a list of training events. Yeah, I'll try to join that. Right now I'm doing cognitive processing therapy, which is a form of CBT for PTSD. So I'll take that. And then prolonged exposure, I've already finished that. That is basically, it's interesting because I did study a lot of different kinds of trauma treatment. And prolonged exposure means, like, you go back to an event that was really difficult and you really flood yourself with it, repeat it over and over and over and over again. Whereas with CPT, the cognitive processing therapy, the goal is more to assess what you got out of the trauma, not got out of it, but how the traumatic event impacted your thinking, your perception of yourself, others in the world. That's what CBT about is prolonged exposure. And then there's EMDR, which is some people think it goes off the rails, out of the, or at least not part of the CBT family, but it is. And that is this idea that you do this. It's called bilateral stimulation. If you get the person to follow your finger, you want the person to change their view of themselves. Yes, primarily they call it your negative cognition. So it's still, to me, it's still a little cognitive. And in fact, the plate therapy is a little cognitive too. Well, it makes sense because we're Homo sapiens. They call us Homo sapiens. Why? Because we're thinking beings. Should be, at least. All right. So that's the main ones. What else did I leave out? Okay. And also right now, therapy is becoming very mindful. So we have mindfulness-based stress reduction. I took that at Penn with Dr. Kathleen Bowles, or Karen Bowles. Karen Bowles. I'm sorry. Make sure I got her name right because I'm always messing up her name. Bowles, MD. Okay, I have bad reception. Oh, here it is. Yeah, that's her name. Karen E. Bowles. She's nice. She's all right. All right, so I do want to do their they have like a 4-day retreat at Pendle Hill that I want to take. And I'm also gonna sign up for becoming a registered yoga teacher at the Integral Yoga Institute in New York City. I'm also working on becoming bilingual. I should really become trilingual. What else am I gonna do? Oh, I'm gonna expand to the Gottman method. I want to take the Gottman method so I can work with couples, even though I'm not in a couple. Then I would like to see Gestalt therapy and what that was all about. It's funny, Dr. Elizabeth Gosh said I really couldn't understand Gestalt therapy. She's a real jackass. But I would like to pursue art therapy at some point. EMDR, CBT, CPT, registered play therapy. And then this internal family systems. I'm interested in that. And then some kind of, I think I can do contextualized family therapy over with Dottie Higgins Klein at her place and her husband Jerry. But I also like to do maybe Bowen Family Systems at Rutgers University. Oh, Rutgers University. I'm also doing Nurtured Heart training as well as the Art Grow training, which stands for Attachment, Resilience, and Competency. I should know what it means. That's a shame. And so that's it. That's like the core of my. I think we are kind of like little applied philosophers because we the whole your whole theoretical orientation has something to do, I think, with your view of human nature. And I just find something very dignified about looking at your cognitions. All right, that's all I got right now. I think I've talked about this before, but I'm going to talk about it again.